Tesline. Tesline casts her gaze around the inn, hoping to spot Alice. Now, where is she? I think she might be on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out to the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. Don't mention me by name, it'll be funnier. Watchtower's on the south side. I only wish I could be there to see Alice's face when she realizes it's you. Greetings, traveler. This place isn't much, but you're welcome to share what we have. Dante Omega. Have you met my friend Omega? Emerald? Omega? Kasana. No one comes here without very good reason, and I'll not pry into what yours might be. I will, however, try to make your time here as painless as possible. What do you do here? I care for those who can no longer look after themselves. Though, in all honesty, I had no intention of staying when I first arrived here with my brother. He was a patient here, you see. I started by performing a few chores about the place, and before I knew it, I'd become one of the carers, and when my brother's time came, I decided to carry on. What kind of place is this? The name Inn at Journey's Head describes what goes on here fairly accurately. As with any other inn, it's simply to rest before you embark on the next part of your journey. If you see what I mean. Originally, it was more of an infirmary, a place where the patients were supposed to recover. Over the years, it became clear that once a person is touched by a sin eater, there's no cure. Our job is to prepare them for the journey into whatever awaits beyond this life. Jesus. It never ceases to amaze every time I see it. Pretty cool. Nice footsteps leading back to where I just came. Alice is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. Small footprints. Small footprints lead off to the northwest. Those fucking mummies. Gilman. Footprints continue to the northwest. See him. That's so cool. Oh, he died. Oh. The footprints curve around to the west. It really wants me to go south. Oh. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. That can't be good. Oh, let me move that. My character's just noticing it, I guess.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be.
You almost lost that one.
I had it under control, right up until the moment I didn't. I'll do better next time. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are
Hi.
you?
I've been better. How are you? Allow me to explain the situation so far.
We've fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least.
You've been here for a year and you haven't seen either one of them?
When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct. that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
I mean, okay.
The infirmary is full of the Sin Eater's victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It almost seemed pretty, like, abrupt there, LSA. It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol course. Alisei would have you help her finish her patrol. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way, you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrace. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, you can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Okay. Off I go. Does this loop back or no? Okay. Why, hello there. Forgiven cowardice. Okay. That's even better. I've yet to take on a Tolba. Oh! Alright, he doesn't want anything to do with me. I'm good with that. Now he wants something to do with me. I'm not good with that. Okay. Well, alright. Gonna wait just a second here. Oh, okay. There she is! Look at those pixels. How did you fare? Well, it was pretty simple. There was only 2 of them. Oh, I thought there might be 1 or 2 lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually these lesser Sin Eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, even a powerful Sin Eater goes on the hunt. When a powerful Sin Eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cool their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you certainly helped out in that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we? I will stop the recording after this one. I'm gonna go fucking... I know I have a WD-40 around here somewhere, and I'm sick and tired of this chair squeaking. She hasn't been telling you stories, has she? Oh gods. Alice told me you helped out on our patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alice has missed your company. Everything is always, if Luxie were here, she would... That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Fluxie's methods. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing, though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets, just as you do. Okay.
A few moments later.
I fucking did it. Listen to this. You hear that? That's right, no fucking squeak, no loud shrilling squeak anymore. I fucking pumped this shit full of WD-40. I can barely breathe anymore. I'm gonna fucking asphyxiate myself off of this shit like... Anyway, Alice, this is what I get for sharing. Maybe I'll just head out on another patrol. Tesselina has the air of a woman being pulled in 10 directions at once. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that there are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alice? What? And twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with? I can help. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alice. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin hasn't caked in sand. Their names are Pawnil, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. It will do them good to see a new face. There's not much in the way of novelty around here to distract them from their worries. I would speak more on the subject of sin eaters, but let's see this task finish first. I don't know if I attuned. Attune? Hey buddy, I'm here for you. Let me pat your back from a safe distance. Thank you. Hey buddy, how's it going? Hands are looking mighty chunky. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. This is like a fucking child, man. Harik remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheeks. The texture of his skin is hardened as something akin to plaster. God, is my window open? It is. Hold on, I gotta fucking turn on a fan, because I am, like, no joke, hard of breathing. I'm probably gonna get really fucking cold, but it's gonna be worth it to be able to fucking breathe. Poor Halric. You're Alice's friend. That's good. Your work is done then? Keep seeing to the patients. How were they? Well, one was okay, the other is downtrodden to the point of not speaking, the other one looks like he's about to go any minute. Good, that's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Howrick, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to that discussion then. I was going to take Fluxy to Mordsuk. If you have any errands there that need doing, well, I suppose there's one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Fluxy. There's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. Oh, my jobs are all under control now, thank you. Go and spend some time with Alice. Can't get enough of Ron. Let's see about that nectarine, shall we? Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares? Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh, yes. Nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked our coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one free of charge. Yes! Gods, I've never seen a merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh, yes. I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Ahem. The worms, if you please. Only the best regulars for you. Come again, my friends. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetheryte to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. See you again soon, your belly won't let you stay away. Yo-ho!
Alice!
Here are your precious worms. Advise us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Aetheryte! You actually brought them! I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once.
Never fails. Shall we? This seems the voice.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what lies beyond? That's what
Kind
the land became after the light flooded in.
looks
An
like
empty,
ash or
white nothingness.
snow. Close.
Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halrick's favorite fruit.
This... I should drop it. Off this building on accident.
Most of the patients, Halrick included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn.
Should I stop holding this?
Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough.
I feel like this is a different
But
set of
it's a war I mean
circumstances.
to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed?
Yeah. How could I forget?
Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
So I've heard.
But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless.
A singular, small promise that happened literally the moment before you transported?
On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer
Sweet.
we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Please put it away. Thank you.
No one is allowed in here without permission, especially not outsiders.
I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecture. One glimpse at the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than 1 hour of Urianger's lecturing. And I need you to know, beyond a doubt, that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine would be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Okay. Thanks, I guess. I appreciate the morbid truth of knowing that I just bought a child's favorite food so that they can poison him so he doesn't turn into a monster with excruciating pain. Really lightens the blow. Go ahead, I think she's been waiting for us. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? A plump, sweet-smelling nectarine. Thank you. Alice explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Hara for now. Thank you to you. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Thank you for understanding.